An Uncommon Grace is generally a really good film. There are a few things that irritate me. They are spoilers, so I'll discuss those at the end. But in general, I liked this. This was released in 2017. It's directed by David Mackay and it's written by David Golden and Serena B. Miller. And it stars Jes Macallan as Grace and Sean Faris as Levi. And Grace is actually at home after a tour of duty as an army nurse. And she's at a bit of a crossroads. She's thinking of going back, but at the moment she's not 100% sure what she's doing. And at the start of the film, while she's staying with her grandmother in Amish country, she happens upon a crime where Levi's mother is shot. And I won't say the outcome of that, but obviously this is where she meets him and we have the romantic aspect. And I will say the romantic part of the film is exceptionally unbelievable. I'm not convinced for 1 second that their relationship developed in a believable way. So I didn't like that part of the story at all. I just didn't buy it. However, the mystery aspect is really interesting because we obviously have the initial shooting, we then have some other crimes along the way, and I'd say it's pretty unclear what's going on, and I started to think I was working it out, and I was actually wrong. And I liked that I was wrong because the element of surprise was really powerful, and I rather enjoyed the mystery. So if you're looking for a believable, convincing, Amish-based romance, this is definitely not going to be it. But if you're looking for a good mystery, then this one actually might tick all of the right boxes there. Grace and Levi are both very likeable characters. I don't necessarily think Grace is the best written character, but she is certainly likeable, which definitely helps. We also have some very well-written antagonists, namely Zillah, who I will talk more about in a moment, but she is a nasty little character and I do not like her, but I loved to hate her. She angered me so much. Such a brilliantly written character with a great performance by Emily Basso, but I'll talk more about Zillah with a spoiler warning as I have a point that is a bit of a spoiler. But in general, I did like this, as I said, and the Amish aspect is quite interesting. Although this is the second Hallmark film, Amish-based Hallmark film that I've watched this week, where the bishop is made out to be a horrendous character. And I've never come across that in any film or documentary before. I've never thought of bishops in the Amish community as being nasty villains, and maybe villain is too strong a word, but certainly a horrible person. And I've watched 2 Hallmark films in the last week where that's been the case, so that's a little bit unusual for me. But the Amish part is otherwise interesting. There are some inaccuracies, at least some that I picked up on. There may be more, but it's not too bad. And certainly, if like me, you do like films that are about Amish communities and the Amish way of life, then I think that part of it will appeal to you. But as I said, certainly with the character of the bishop, there are some frustrating parts to it as well. But generally, I thought An Uncommon Grace was a decent narrative, certainly a very interesting mystery, not a great romance. So I will mention very briefly, I think just one spoiler point, one thing that I want to say that I was really disappointed at and I didn't believe it. And there are several things in this that are unbelievable. The big one being the romantic aspect of it. I just, at no point, and this is I guess a bit of a spoiler for something that happens, but maybe not really, but I'll just say spoilers from now to be on the safe side. I kind of feel like maybe Levi thought he loved Grace because she saved his mother. It's natural to feel something towards the person who saves somebody you love. I can understand why his feelings were heightened, but at no point did I get any indication from Grace that she felt romantically towards Levi. None whatsoever. And I just don't believe it. I don't buy that part of it. So that was very badly done. The other thing that I thought was very unbelievable is when Zillah decided to just confess that she was lying. One could argue that maybe her conscience just got the better of her, but honestly I don't believe it because she's clearly a nasty piece of work and she had lied to her father about Levi making her impure, to put it plainly. And that meant that the bishop demanded that Levi marry her. And I desperately needed a resolution. I needed Zillah to get her comeuppance. And all that happens is Levi mentions in a passing comment to Grace that she confessed she was lying. Why? Why would she do that? If she lied enough to get her own way, if she was willing to do that in the first place, why would she then just suddenly decide to confess if she was going to get her own way? There's no reason for it. As I said, maybe guilt was getting to her, but I don't believe it. That's not in keeping with what we know of the character. And I also needed to see her being punished for it. I needed to see the truth come out. I wanted to see the look on her face when she was forced to tell the truth, and we didn't get that satisfaction. So I just feel like we had this horrible villainous character, and that's exactly what she is. She's very nasty, very well written, and we never get the satisfaction of her comeuppance. So that was both badly done and also very unbelievable. So it's not a perfect film. It definitely is not a perfect film. But if you like films about the Amish community, and if you like mysteries, then An Uncommon Grace is one that I'd say is probably still worth checking out.